Hello students, welcome to this video series of subject mobile application development. We are in the 6th unit, that is security and application development deployment in Android applications. So today's our topic is topic 6.3, that is we have to study the Android security model, and the course outcome of this 6th unit is to publish the Android applications that we have created using the various strategies. So coming to the topic, that is security model of Android. So the learning outcome of this video includes we have to study the security model of Android. That means how the security is implemented inside our Android application. So the POs mapped are PO1, PO4, PO6 and PO7. So coming to the Android security model, as you know, Android is a multi-process system in which each application runs in its own process. That is, each if we are having large number of activities inside our Android application, so each activity will run in its own thread. Multi-process means multi-threading system in which each activity will run in its own thread. So the security between the applications, mostly the security between the applications and the system is enforced at the process level. Process level means at the thread level through standard Linux facilities such as user and group IDs that are assigned to the application. So in case there are many Android applications inside our Android project, that means subparts of an Android applications. In case of large project, we uh, normally deploy our application, or we normally create our application in terms of modules. So one module will handle a specific task, another module will handle some designated task. So in that case, mostly the security between these applications means inside the application there may be multiple modules. So the security between the applications and the system is enforced at the process level. Process level means at the individual thread level, that is whatever the activity which is inside our memory, that is currently running, so that is enforced with the help of thread level. So the thread level security is provided, and now the thread level security will be provided by whom? By our Linux server that is present at the base. So the Linux facilities such as user and group IDs that are assigned to the applications. So Linux is our kernel system which we are using inside the Android operating system. So these are basically handled by the Linux kernel facilities. Additional security features are provided through the permission mechanism. So in case the standard mechanisms are provided by the Linux kernel, that is by the core facilities are provided by the Android kernel or the Linux kernel which is present inside the Android architecture, but the custom permissions, in case we need some additional permissions, so that are called as custom permissions. So the custom permission mechanism is present that enforces the restrictions on a specific operations that a particular process can perform. So basically these permissions are nothing but the custom permissions that application developer gives to the particular users which may be using our application. So it may be either UI UR permissions. URI means uniform resource identifier. So resource identifier means there are large number of resources inside a single Android application. We may be using Google Maps, we may be using other resources of web, we may be connecting to the web service, we may be using the payment gateway inside our Android application app. So in that case, these additional mechanisms are provided by the Android with the help of custom permissions. So the Android security model is primarily based on the permission mechanism. So this security mechanism inside the Android application is provided basically with the help of custom permissions or the permissions in this case. So the each application is running in a specific DVM, that is our Dalvik virtual machine, with a unique user ID assigned to it. Suppose inside our application, if we consider three activities are simultaneously running inside the system. So in that case, the DVM will assign a unique ID to each activity, which means the application code runs in isolation from the code of other applications. Here we are considering a scenario in which inside a single application we have opened three activities, three independent and separate activities inside a single Android application. We are not going to the complex process in which we are uh, using different Android systems applications in a single thread. So each activity will be assigned a unique user ID by the DVM. DVM is nothing but our Dalvik virtual machine. So by assigning this ID, we are separating our code from the other activities. That is, the code of one activity will be isolated or separated from the code of the another activity. As a result of this, one application has not granted access to other applications. So here we have considered the example of a application, but in terms of understanding, we are understanding with respect to a single application. So inside the single application, if multiple activities are running, so one application code will not interfere with the second activity's application code. So here we have considered a scenario in which basically we are using three different applications, like a browser application or a Facebook application or a Twitter application. So all these three apps are running simultaneously on our Android platform. So in this case, our Linux kernel provides the security by using the unique by giving the unique ID to each of these apps. Likewise, the Twitter is given ID as 1002. Facebook is given the unique ID. So by assigning this ID, we are just isolating or separating the application code of one app from the application code of another app. So coming to the permissions, so how these permissions are used and how to use them. So the purpose of the permission is to protect the privacy of an Android user. So the main focus is on the privacy of the Android user. Android apps must request permission to access sensitive user data such as contacts and SMS. Whenever we download a specific app into our mobile device, uh, and install it, it asks for a permissions. Normal permissions are there in which it uh, asks the user whether you want to give access to the contacts, SMS, as well as certain system permissions such as camera and web. Depending on the feature, the system might grant the permission automatically or might prompt the user to approve the request. So normally nowadays it typically uh, prompts the user whether to give the permission for a specified task or not. The permissions are divided into several protection levels. So we will not cover here all the protection levels. The protection level affects whether the runtime permission requests are required. So what this protection level mechanism derives? It derives that whether the runtime permission should be given or not in case the user is not authorized to it to a specific service. There are three protection levels that affect the third party applications. Third party applications means whatever the application we have designed, it is called as a third party application. So the permission level is either normal, it may be a signature permission or it may be a dangerous permission. So we will see this. So coming to the next permission, that are signature permissions. The system grants these app permissions at the install time, but only when the app that attempts to use a permission is signed by the same certificate as the application that defines the permission. Basically, these are used by the apps that provide a payment gateway uh, with respect to the user account. So it provides a secure application. So in that context, like Paytm, Google Pay, so a single copy of these apps must be assigned to a single user. So in that case, we have to use the signature permissions. These are basically the APIs which provides the authorization keys and the access keys. And last are the dangerous permissions. So the dangerous permission covers areas where the app wants data or resources that involves the user's private information. So in case of intermediate apps like uh, the example we considered like Paytm, Google Pay, which accesses the resources like bank account details by specifying the OTP every time. So these are nothing but the dangerous permissions and could potentially affect the user's stored data or the operation of other apps. So basically these three levels of protection mechanism are provided by the Android Studio. For example, the ability to read the user, that is the same example we have considered in case of dangerous app permissions. So in case of accessing the bank account details, that type of permission is a dangerous permission. So the important MSBT questions related to this are: you have to explain the security model of Android. So we have gone through about the study of the security model of Android. So thanks for watching this video. In the next video, that will be the last video of this unit, we will study how to publish an Android application.